I'm not good at intros. Let's just talk about Mario Party. Big fan! Yeah, you'd say I might like Mario Party a little bit. I love Mario Party, frankly, a little too much, but it's my tism, so I can't help that. Mario Party is that perfect blend of video game goodness mixed with that unmistakable urge to kill your fellow man during any normal board game session. And because of this, I've had a lot of time to consider what makes a good Mario Party game, but also, more specifically, what makes a good Mario Party board. Because that's the heart and soul, people. You see, the board you play on in any Mario Party game is the key to a fun time. A bad board can make 20 turns feel like 50 turns, and it can make 50 turns feel like your friends just won't answer the phone anymore and won't hang out with you. Just me? A Mario Party board has to be designed well for all players of all skill levels, right? You might be playing with your friends, you might be playing with your nieces and nephews or your cousins or your siblings, and they're probably bad at the game. So it has to be designed so that anyone can win, because part of the fun of Mario Party is that anyone can win energy. But you gotta have the right board to make that happen. So here's what I've done. I've created a system to help break down the very essence of a good board in Mario Party. Okay, a system so good, I got an acronym for it. That's how you know it's good, baby. That's how you know it's good. I've created what I'm calling the RIME system. Look at that text, fancy. Never done that before. I think it's pretty catchy. I like that. Now, it's gonna be easier and funnier to go through this in reverse order of the acronym. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that, and we're gonna go in reverse order here. E, economy. Like any good capitalistic society, we need the economy to be flowing at a smooth, even rate throughout the game. Item shops, booze, events. All of this is important in making sure we never escape the undying grip of a system ruled by billionaire elitists who keep shoving the same mediocre crap down our gullets just enough to keep us complacent, just enough to not actually take a stand for what's right, because that would be a slightly more uncomfortable situation for what the system currently already has us trapped in. And we wouldn't want to be uncomfortable, right? M, movement. Getting around a board is important, right? You want to be able to interact with the board and be able to go and explore all the different aspects and move around quickly. You gotta be able to access that board and interact with it. So how well does it manage that? Is it laid out with multiple junctions to take? Maybe a revolving gimmick to keep players on their toes? Maybe it creates a black hole spot that you can never escape from yourself, leaving you trapped for all eternity unless the gods of Mario Party decide to take pity on you. Or maybe they'll just watch you squirm in the little rat cage they've created for you. Either way, at least you're moving, right? It's I for items. Every Mario Party game has a different set of items to work with. But does the board take advantage of those items is the question. Do the items help with the other factors around the board? Do some items get left in the dust? Do I have the means to give these suicidal keys the chance to move on to the next plane of existence with many key doors? So, okay, side note. What's wrong with the keys in Mario Party? I don't understand. Why do they insist on wanting to die? Did you guys know there's a key in the story mode of Jamboree whose only wish is to finish off her bucket list of going in pipe before sending herself off to key heaven? What was that? What on earth was that about? Or random bullshit. Look, we love random bullshit in our Mario Party games. That's what stops people like me from actually dominating every game I play with others. And I'm not just talking about the hidden blocks or access to chance times. I'm talking wacky shit. I'm talking wacky events the board itself offers to spice things up. Losing 10 coins for Piranha Plant, not that impactful, not that exciting. Taking a star from every player and gambling them out to just a single winner? Oh, baby, now we're talking. Each of these categories will be ranked on a scale from 0 to 5. The 0 is important, we'll get to that, to give a combined RIME score out of 20 total points. High score mean good board, low score mean bad board. Be pretty straightforward, I think. And if you're still sitting here going, okay, Jero, what authority do you have to determine what makes a good board anyway? Who made you the king of the board design? No one. I just thought it'd be fun to talk about. Get off my back! Plus, I do have constant Mario Party streams and speedrun multiple different Mario Party games on my Twitch channel. Easiest plug of my life! So go check me out there for the live action experience. Plus, being a lonely child in a small town growing up with nothing but my Mario Party games to keep me entertained would lead to my unhealthy obsession with the series. So I put a lot of time, okay, into this. So just like let me have this, just let me have this, please. I need this. First, though, ground rules. So we're gonna be looking at like the 12 main Mario Party games for this video. We got 1 through 8. Then we got DS, we got Super, Superstars, and Jamboree, the newest one in the series so far. Why aren't we looking at the other games of the series? Because these aren't Mario Party games, and I will not be taking arguments at this time. Second, I won't be going through every board in this video. I'm just supplying you guys with the means to break down a Mario Party board yourselves, but I will use examples to do so by going through what I think to be the top 5 best and the top 5 worst boards in the series, along with a couple honorable mention boards just for fun, just a little extra for you guys. And if you don't agree with me with board ranking that you see here today, too bad, it's my list. I make the rules. Go make your own list, you creative little scamp. That's it though. Those are only 2 ground rules. Was this section even necessary? Let's start with the boards that get me excited to ruin a friendship or two. Let's go. Kicking us off with the newest game in the series, this adorable little mall is filled with a wide assortment of positives that make it a standout board. First off, this layout right here, phenomenal. 3 tiers of mall to explore, but none so big that you get stuck in any part for too long. With multiple ways to like move between the levels as well. I mean, if you want a good movement score, you gotta have options to move areas easily, and this mall got it in spades. Not like most malls that every single goddamn escalator, there's like 2 in the whole mall, and they're on opposite fucking ends. And you have to walk 5 miles just to get up 1 floor. Fucking stupid. Not to mention the economy score. It's a mall. Of course it's gonna do well in economy. Malls never go wrong in any economy. We got a wide range of shops for different players here as well. We got the peasant shop, we got the billionaire shop, we got sorry you suck shop, and even your local black magic dealer. Nice to see them doing good still. Gotta support those dead mom and pops out there. And that flows nicely into the items people can get as well. Since the board has an insane catalog of items to grab, depending on the shops you visit, lots of ways to interact with the board depending on what shops you encounter. Now, the one failing grace for me, I would probably say, is the randomness scores. And don't get me wrong, it's not bad, but it's not like the best we've ever seen. Most of these shops require you to actively like land on happenings to enter, which is like kind of a bummer. But we also have the card mechanic of going around to get stamps for more money, which is great. And even the flash sale event that happens to get some good items or stars for cheap. So, you know what? Pretty good. It's got potential to fuck someone over. Not a large amount, but it's got enough. Like, especially if you start hoarding the board exclusive 200% markup sticker to make everything twice as expensive for a player. That is devilish. That's mean. That is funny though. That's good stuff. We like that. Jamboree has a lot of surprise hits, and this was one of the best boards I've seen in years. So good on you, Mall Map. Paul Blart would be proud. America! Loud and obnoxious energy is how the world tends to describe this North American country. And as a Northern Canadian myself, I'm right here to agree to those claims. Is that a bad thing? Mario Party at least. Combining aspects from places like Vegas, Texas, California, this place oozes the charm of the American dream. And what better way to do that than with gambling, baby! Yeah, gambling! Let's go gambling! Aw, dang it. The traditional star spaces are replaced with these little chests scattered all over the map. One contains a star, one contains 20 coins, and the final one is an incendiary device that you must deactivate before the bomb can go off and destroy the local sports stadium. The risk and hope you get when paying for a chest, not knowing the contents, is glorious. And it perfectly blends with the economy and item scores as well, as you're constantly spending money on chests or items to get ahead of the game. Items, especially like the Lakitu Orb, that will straight up just bring you a random chest, even if it's the bomb. But even the events around the board go into this mentality. You got coin events scattered literally all over the place, including this little Western shootout. Don't shoot Toadsworth. Don't shoot the old man. You also have little aliens who show up to randomize the chat. Wait, aliens? Why are there aliens here? What sense of purpose is this? Aliens. And don't forget the memory match game that doesn't seem too interesting until you learn that this event can reward a star for getting it 100% correct. Lots of people didn't know that. That's good. I love that. Now, with that being said, we got a little dip when it comes to movement and items. Mostly these larger gaps of the map that like funnel you into a fairly long path. It's not always great. And because Mario Party 7 has character-specific orbs that can be graded on a tier list, you may end up getting more screwed over if you pick the wrong character. I don't care how bad his item is. You can't make me pick anyone other than my spirit animal. Waluigi, I love you, dear child. Why does your item suck? Sometimes in Mario Party, you gotta have a board that strikes fear into the hearts of your players. This board may look like a quaint little paradise at first glance, but that's where it gets you. This board is a masterclass of manipulation and deceit, creating partnerships and rivalries, only to swap sides entirely just to get ahead, only to also get backstabbed over and over again by the same people doing the exact same thing as you. But it's a lot more fun when we're all doing it anyway. This is one of those single track boards that have a star at the end of the line, and once you reach it, you'll reset back to the start space. This is very similar to Mario's Rainbow Castle from Mario Party 1, which is like the first example of a straight line course. But here's the difference. Rainbow Castle has Toad at the top and Bowser at the top. And if Toad's there, you buy a star for 20 coins. Pretty straightforward. If it's Bowser up there, he steals 40 coins, which does hurt at first until you realize that you immediately go back down to Koopa and he gives you 10 coins and sometimes he gives you 20 coins. So it doesn't like hurt nearly as bad. And Mario Party 1 has a money economy problem all on its own anyway. That's neither here nor there. This is what's important. On this board right here, DK offers you the star for 20 coins. Very straightforward. That's what we expect. Bowser, he'll steal your wallet and your fucking star. He's a bastard. That's what makes this good. This creates an immediate fear of the potential bad outcome. But unlike Rainbow Castle, you got a few options to use here. The junctions offer you more choices along the way with different events on each pair with pros and cons to each. So do you want to buy an item at the item shop or do you want to risk just getting a free one from the orb space? You got the orb item mechanic as well, just to place traps for your enemies along the board. You got a day and night cycle from Mario Party 6 specifically that can activate the boo space to steal stars and coins. Lovely. And of course, the slow shroom to purposely land on happening spaces all over the board, most of which change the position of DK and Bowser on the fly. There is always this constant tug and pull back and forth between the players, keeping things as stressful but engaging as possible the entire time. There could be like a bit more randomness as like some of the other events on the board don't quite do enough like long term, and without like a constant boost space, it's not as reliable to activate, but you got plenty of room to scheme your way to victory here. Okay, so spoiler, Mario Party 3 is my favorite Mario Party. Yeah, this game has it all, okay? It's got banger mini games. It's got the best item list in the series. And of course the boards, they're so good. There were so many to choose from. And I almost picked my personal favorite to go here, but I decided against that. I wanted to give people a different choice. So I'm going with the desert, baby. I think that one deserves the top spot of this game. So with one of the first like trickery star mechanics in the series, this board will always have 2 star spaces available, but one of them is a mirage spurred on by that cactus juice you 100% sure to drink. So you might just like end up at a star space and go like, oh, yeah, sorry, another illusion. Stop drinking drugs. If you know how the spawning system works, you'll be able to like slowly pick out the fake like over the course of the game, but at least at the start, you're just as blind as your fellow players. So it really incentivizes that like that true like evenness between the idiots and the pros. We got some other randomness as well on this board, including the only happening spaces with these 2 sand pits, right? And these 2 sand pits are funny. So activating one will bring all the players around the pit into the sandy depths below, and they will be spat out at the other end. When your friends decide to keep this cycle going for turns on end, seek help and evaluate if these are true friends. If you're the type to go for the strat, A+, good on you for sticking it to the man. You might think that's it for randomness, and this doesn't sound like movement is helped here much either with how big this board is. Like, this big board, lots of board here. But you're missing the biggest picture here. You're missing the big picture. See, you were drinking cactus juice while I was running full speed into them this entire time. See, this event in the middle of the board lets you travel like someone playing 4D chess. Do you choose to jump over each of the cactuses to get to the other side and nab some stars? Yeah, you could definitely do that. Or do you go further and actively bounce off a cactus to further your movement options to get around to more spots on the board? Going to this spot on the board, you can access different areas of the board, all kinds of spaces like chance times, game guy. You can go past the shop and over in a loop, or you could set yourself up to go to Boo with the reverse room, which is an item they need to bring back now. Why isn't it back? I don't care if it breaks the game. It's funny that I can go up and see Boo, hit the fucking gate, and immediately come back down and do it again. That's fantastic. Give me more of that. See, this is a masterclass of decision making, and even though you don't have like as many options to spend your money on in the desert, if you're smart, you can use the limited resources to their fullest potential. All this in a desert level of all things. Like, I can't imagine a desert level doing this good, let alone a second, even better desert level to top this list. Oh, nanny baby, let's go! So I know how much people really like Mario Party 2, okay? Shout out to my boy Noah and his Bowser Land obsession. And while I do adore Mario Party 2 myself, the item system only allowing 1 item per character makes moving around these boards a problem in the original. You know, all it takes is 1 asshole to buy the stupid chest, and then no one else is allowed to have items. Especially with the expert shop placements on this board, making sure that every person would get the chance of grabbing an item. Such a shame. Plus, this path at like the top here, it's basically pointless when an objectively better path is right here. Like, why would you ever take this path? Like, why is this way? It's like, this map is so close to greatness, but it's just like a bit of missed potential based on the game that it's in. That is until Jamboree came in and slapped its nuts across your face and went, hey bitch, here's the best fucking board you've ever played. Oh baby! Jamboree gave this board the facelift it needed, and I'm happy to say this is by far the best board that we have ever seen in the series. Oh my god, they fixed everything with this. Even things we didn't even, like, I didn't even know I wanted fixed. Keeping the train mechanic to help move around the outside of the board, but also adding in the train ticket items to call a train over to an empty station gives it so much more value, both on a movement side of things and on an offensive side of things. If you just want to hit your opponents and send them back to the start, that's awesome. Not to mention 2 separate boost spaces, which was in the original, to be fair. The wonderful Hoonanny giving the option to call just a single person or the entire group over now, and just the overall like rework of some of these paths, including this whole area being redone to have a loop back to the start if you have the skeleton key item. Like, this board really does just have it all. It just has everything at this point. Minus maybe like a bit of like the randomness factor, but like Jamboree specific game mechanics, like the buddy system will keep the board fresh on every playthrough anyway. Like, I can't believe the glow up this board got. And I think it truly shines as like this like epitome gold standard of what we want like a Mario Party board to be. All right, now before we go digging into the garbage pile, lightning round, baby! Ka-chow! Horrorland, real close to making the list, but the Westernland remake had to take the cake of like the Mario Party 2 representation. It's got extra boos, it's got the first showing of a night-day cycle, and Big Boo being a Hail Mary victory condition that almost cracked the top. Shout out to Mario Party Superstars for dragging this map out of Mario Party 2 hell. Love you, baby. King Bowser's Key. Shout out to the board with sauce to spare. Like, this is truly one of the most chaotic maps I have ever played on. And I don't think a Mario Party map has bullied me more personally than this one. I'm saying that with delight, by the way. This board with its patent-pending Bowser Cuck Circle, which will just steal all your stars and coins and funnel them into the prison for anyone to steal, is such a genius way to mess with the players, especially when you add in star steal spaces at the regular shop and multiple stars spawning in the Cuck Circle itself. Also, Bowser flipping the direction of the circle so you can't leave for 20 turns is so great. The second best straight shot board only loses out to Castaway Bay. It's got a great theme. I love the theme here. Plenty of shake-up opportunities with multiple events giving stars if you can master the challenges. And the short nature of the board means traveling the distance isn't so daunting. It's just like too bad Mario Party 7's mechanics like character orbs and Bowser showing up every 5 turns drags it down overall. I should probably talk about that whole Bowser mechanic on Neon Heights. This is another good point towards it. I think I'll just put that here. Yeah, Bowser fucks up, well, he comes in Neon Heights and he'll take a star from a player sometimes every 5 turns and he'll put that one in a chest with the star, so sometimes you get 2 stars. It does fuck over a player, but it's really funny. Bowserland! Shout out to my boy Noah again for showing me the light. One of, if not the most creative ideas for a Bowser board, with that parade that you can just like trail in front of and lose all your money with, the shops that force you to buy items, or the banks that force you to take money, and then if you land on the bank, you have to pay the debt that everyone's gone through, which, by the way, if you have no money, he takes a star. Again, very funny. Thing that like really just brings it down though is that the lackluster item system of Mario Party 2. If only they would remake this board. If only they would. But maybe at some point, we can only hope. Waluigi's Island, baby! This was like a painful choice. Because like, even though Waluigi's Island is my personal favorite board, I didn't think it was fair to put this in the top 5. Like, if you love insanity in your Mario Party game, then this board is nostalgia chaos at its finest. The clock bomb to steal all the players' coins if you land in it when it goes boom. A space island that changes the kind of space every turn, which includes chance times and game guys and battles. Like, I fuck with that shit so hard. Also, 2 stars spawn there. That's great. And then just so many goofy traps galore. Like, it's not for everyone. And for that, like, more evenness, like for new and experienced players, it's not great for everyone. But this board was made for me specifically. Like, this is my board. All right, let's get into some delicious dumpster diving now. All right, so I just have a question for you guys real quick. Amusement parks, right? What's their purpose? Okay, last I checked, it was amusement. I am not amused, Toad. Maybe it's because I haven't been to like a real amusement park in years, but I pray that they are nothing like this street fair disaster that's set upon me. One of the biggest problems that you can have on a Mario Party board is boredom. And that usually comes from like a lack of choice. And when the lack of choice both bores you and infuriates you, that's when you get a steaming pile of garbage. You have 3 events on this board, okay? Let's name them down. Let's go one by one here, okay? We got a random item minigame. We got a random coin minigame locked behind the stupid fucking minigate that Mario Party 4 loves to insist upon. And a roller coaster that barely helps most situations and is usually just like a small annoyance more than anything. But this fucking stupid teacup thing, this goddamn teacup thing right here, oh my god, it will be the death of me. All right, let's do a little example here, okay, shall we? Let's do a little example. You start the game and you're on the race to move quickly. Why are you on the race to move quickly? Because this teacup will send you either onto the main path of the board where you get to explore all the other nothing that the board has to offer, or you can loop back around to the start space. The cups will switch which direction you go every time somebody activates it. So the first person goes and gets to explore the nothing board. Then the next person goes, ends up back in the loop. Then the third person goes and gets to explore the nothing board. Finally, the fourth person goes back to the loop. What happens then? Well, person 2 and person 4 are now fighting to both get to the main course. But guess what? One of them gets there, then the other one gets fucked in the circle a second time. Wah! That means that whenever you start a game on Toad's Midway Madness, there is one player that will always get fucked by going in the stupid circle of nothing for 2 turns. And what does the circle have? Good question. It has a bunch of fucking blue spaces, bunch of item spaces that could give you a Mega Mushroom to move faster, or just more mini mushrooms. It's random what you get. And one single teleport space that might get you out if you just so happen to land on it. Whoop-de-fucking-do. That's just the first time around the board, right? Like that, this cycle can happen even more over the course of the game because every path can end back in the stupid fucking circle. And like there are stars that can spawn around the area, so you're gonna be incentivized to go there at some point. Nothing is worse than being forced along a path you don't want to be on. This isn't fun. I want to ride something cool, okay? Stop putting me on It's a Small World. I'm gonna lose it if I don't escape soon. Not to mention, like, something simple like Boo is also only accessible by another one of these stupid teacup rides that you might be able to access every now and then if the fucking 5 moons in the sky line up properly and the gods allow it to happen. Just... oh, I hate this teacup. I hate these stupid teacups. This board can suck an egg. I sincerely wish that this was the only time I had to talk about Mario Party 4 today. But... okay, so like I really tried not to have multiple games appear on either the top 5 or bottom 5 because like I wanted like that variety across the series, but Mario Party 4 just has like the worst boards across the entire series, and I couldn't help myself, guys. I couldn't. I had to give it 2 entries on this list. It's really hard to choose between Toad's Midway Madness and Koopa's Seaside Resort or Soiree, whatever you want to call it. How do you take a vacation destination and a theme park and make them both horribly boring and unfun? Like, what happened with Mario Party 4? How did they do this? I don't understand what happened. So this board's main gimmick is twofold, okay? We got Koopa over here, the genius businessman who forces you to donate to his resort dreams in an area that is notorious for building destroying tsunamis. Koopa, get a new permit somewhere else and stop taking my money for it. Also, if you're the one to activate the tsunami with one of the happening spaces, you're forced to pay all of the coins it costs to build the damn thing in the first place. The map always funnels you into this area, so you never get the choice to avoid this absolute thief of a Koopa. All right, so speaking of choice, I hope that you didn't want like any of it when it comes to direction, because we get these stupid monkeys. I normally love the Ukikis. I love Ukikis. Shout out to Mario Party 7 mini games, especially using the Ukikis all the time. Big fan of that, big fan of the monkeys. But here, they're the spawn of Satan. Both sides of the board, away from Koopa, will bring you to one of these little dudes. And they will throw a banana peel, as monkeys do. And you will slip on the banana peel, as people do, to either the bottom path or the top path. Now, is there any way to influence this decision at all? No! Are either paths eventful or helpful? No! Each route has one path that eventually gets back to like a shop, but the other paths don't offer like anything of note. Like you could maybe be mini and end up going to like this event in multiple chance time spaces. Maybe, but good luck having the monkey agree to send you that way while being mini. And a similar problem happens with Boo. Just being too awkward to get to in most scenarios in the first place due to the limited role. You have to have the perfect placement on the board to then use a mini mushroom to access like these locations, but you can't predict that because the dice are fucking random. And the mini mushroom you still have to roll, so even if you're like one space and then the pipe, you might just roll one and then there goes your turn. Good fucking try, idiot. Oh, I hate Mario Party 4. You do get dolphin happenings, okay, to like move you around the board, but do they bring you anywhere interesting? No. Just on the path back to fucking Koopa and this pair of stupid Ukikis, okay? This is not a vacation. This is a torture camp. Why did we come here? I don't care if it was cheap, Brenda. I want to go home. Okay, so we're down to the bottom 3 now, okay? And they're all like relatively even in their garbage levels. And I debated how I wanted to present each one in what order, right? My opinion changes on the daily, and I can only rewrite a script like so many times before I go stir crazy. So like, just feel free to debate these boards like among yourselves in the comments. I'll be looking and hearing what you guys have to say. And while you're at it, like and subscribe as well. Might as well say that for more content like this, because how else am I gonna end up being known as the Mario Party maniac online? Like, come on, guys. Okay. Here's what I kind of settled down on. Let's throw it up. This, at least, it's not pretending to be something fun on the surface. You know, Nightmare, you know you're gonna have a bad time. Bowser has always had kind of mid-tier maps for the most part, like with some exceptions on both sides, like very good or very bad. But his absolute worst crime is here. Bowser's Nightmare is the worst. It's annoying just how much this name fits the theming, because this just might be the most boring board in the entire series. Oh my god, this board has practically nothing going on. You have what might be like the longest stretch of nothing spaces going on forever in the series here. And even with junctions to choose from, what choice are you really making here? Do I want 15 blue spaces and 2 red spaces? Or do I want 20 blue spaces and 3 red spaces? Ooh, it's such a conundrum. With a game that doesn't even let you pick the items that you get, you have no meaningful way to like move around these larger chunks of the board. And all the events on this board negatively affect the player in some way. Like every single event is bad. You got the Bowser Goes for a Stroll event, where Bowser spends 5 minutes walking from one end of the board to the other, smashing players along the way and taking their money, and also turning every space he touches into a red space for like 2 or 3 turns. Obnoxious as hell. You have the Bowser Cannon at the top of the board that will burn away all the orbs you currently have. And that's in an area of effect as well. So other people could also get fucked if more than one person happens to even be up there. You have the side events on the corners of the board, where Bowser gives you a choice of 2 blocks to hit. Ooh, a bad one and a good one? No, you idiot, 2 bad ones. You either go back to start, you fucking idiot, or you lose half your money. What? What are you talking about? The only comedic one would be like this center event in the middle of the board. It's a classic rat cage scenario, you know? Like that could have like all the spaces turn into Bowser spaces in the last like 5 turns of the game. But A, that could just like not happen anyway. And B, again, it just fucks over the person. That one is funny. It would be really good if other shit on the board was also like had some good things, right? I don't mind bad things on a board. You need negative things on the board to spice things up. But when everything is actively hurting you constantly, what's the point? This board does nothing but hurt the player in every way. Like, why on earth would you want this? At least it's like, it's almost comical. It's almost funny in the way that this board tortures everyone, right? Like, it's never ending and ruthless for the determinant of the player's enjoyment, right? But I guess that should just like realistically be what Bowser would want out of a board. So I guess like points for being authentic to the big guy. This one is a tough one for me, okay? Mario Party 1 is my baby, and I cherish it very deeply in my soul. The idea of losing money in minigames to other players is such a fun one for me, and I wish we had more of that, like, energy across the series, but, like, I understand not everyone can be, like, a sadist like me. Grabbig, my beloved, I miss you so. But the lack of any items in Mario Party 1, like, really does dampen, like, your ability to affect the game in any way outside of dice rolls. And that is nowhere more present than on the battlefield. It's wartime soon. Get used to it. You may watch your comrades get blown to pieces like a lasagna left in the oven for too long. But you got dice to roll and nowhere to be, so get to it! Mario Party 1 has a very classic formula with its boards of just going around to grab stars. You know, it's what started it all, baby. But this is the only board that really takes choice away from the player in even that regard. You have these 4 territories on the board to travel around. And how do you travel? Oh, by becoming ammunition for the war front, obviously. Blasting from island to island, you'll have to time your landing every time you launch. And by time, I mean press randomly, because there's no way you can possibly react to how fast these things move. So even if you land on the island with the star, you have 0 chance of solidifying the odds that you might even land like before the star space to even get to it. And this goes for any event on any of the islands, including Koopa and Boo. Like, you can never guarantee anything on this board. You do have one extra event with this fly guy here, who you can pay 10 coins to bring somebody to you, or you can bring yourself to Bowser's Island where another star spawns. But just like the cannons, if you're flying to Bowser's Island, the fly guy has the same random reticle bullshit, so you may still miss the star and then still get to visit Daddy Bowser anyway. The movement and economy of this board is just like always in shambles, since you can never like truly tell when you might get the chance to spend any coins, right? The only benefit to this board is during longer games. Mario Party 1 has this like mechanic where when you buy a star and the star moves, that star space turns into a chance time space, and that works for every star space on the board. So longer games end up having like the most insane amount of chance times like in the series, like completely swaying the results multiple times a turn. Hell, here's 3 of us landing on the same chance time space on the exact same turn. If this board has taught me anything, it's that war isn't very fun at all. I can't even believe that. What the hell, man? All right, now before we get to that absolute worst board of the series, let's take a quick look at some dishonorable mentions, shall we? Creepy Cavern. Mario Party 3 is allowed to have a stink or two, okay? I may love the game, but I'm allowed to point out when it's bad. And this one is just ripe for the trash. It's just so ripe. This stupid giant womp fucks up everything else on this board. Now, this would be a funny way to like trap your friends in like any section, but the only thing he accepts for currency to like move him is random items. He doesn't want money, just items. Why? Maybe if you could offer like either, but like why not the main currency? What is he gonna do with a skeleton key? There are still other ways to move around this board, and like it's still Mario Party 3 after all, but like what a weird blemish on what's otherwise like a fantastic set of boards. Like what were they thinking here?
Switching sides.
All right, I just wanted to take a second to talk about this board because like on the surface, this board is just like kind of mid. It's only like kind of bad, like not horrible, but it falls into a lot of like the traps that like other Mario Party 5 boards like have in general of just like not giving you a lot of options, not a lot of things like really going on. But I wanted to talk about it because this event up here, this is one of the most insane things I've ever seen. If someone lands on this, you get a party thrown for you. Wow, and everyone's invited. Except at the end, you spin a roulette wheel, which, by the way, has a timing that you can learn. It is not that hard, and it can steal coins, orbs, or stars from all other players who attended your party. What? Big Boo at least costs 150 coins. What the hell kind of event is that? It's funny though. So it gets points on an otherwise like unremarkable board. But what the hell, man? Mario Party 4 fans are gonna absolutely hate me today. They just like, they can't catch a break, man. Goomba's Greedy Gala and Boo's Haunted Bash. Let me go places. Let me move. I just like really can't help myself with Mario Party 4 slander, okay? Like there aren't any like diehard Mario Party 4 fans out there, right? Like, surely you've picked at least like one other game to be your favorite. These 2 boards aren't nearly as bad as like the bottom 2 boards, but like, man, they're just such missed potential. Like, oh my God, Goomba's board has that gambling theme again. You know I love gambling. but ends up doing almost nothing with it. Getting stuck in an area for turns on end, with the only events being mini mushroom activated or the only happening event on the board being like at the top that just sends you between two areas. Like, it ends up feeling a lot more boring than the colorful atmosphere like presents itself as. Meanwhile, Boo's board is just a mess and actively hurts itself in its own design. One of the most boring layouts of any board in the series, but paths are constantly vanishing due to the Pink Boo event. And once they're gone, you end up activating the stupid coffin ride for the rest of the game instead, because no one's able to get back to the Pink Boo once the coffin's in play. Not to mention that the coolest event returning, the Big Boo, except you can never access him without 2 years of prep time and planning. And dumb sheer luck. You gotta have Pink Boo active to even cross over to the section where he is. And then you also have to land on 1 or 2 happening spaces, and even then, you can only use Big Boo if you're the 3rd person to land on said happening spaces. Why would you even aim for this early on or at all? Like, just for someone else to potentially get it instead? Mario Party 4 is like a masterclass of taking cool ideas and drowning them in cement and then asking the player to swim in it. Okay, so this might seem like a bizarre board to bring up in this section, but I got reasons, okay? I used to love this board, and in some ways I still do. Like, I still enjoy playing on this board, generally speaking, but like, you need the right people for it. If you have players of different skill levels playing here, the weaklings are going to get thrashed by the experts. Being able to buy multiple stars at once is a fantastic idea on paper, but watching the pros win every minigame and then just steamroll and continue to buy 5 stars at a time while the rest of the crew struggles is such a sad thing to watch. Like, I've done that to people. It did not feel good. No one was happy, and I don't blame anyone. This board also funnels people into like the middle section of the board, and it doesn't really reward exploration of like many parts of the board. Like, I could go over to this right side of the board and gamble a star to make 2 stars, or maybe 3 if I'm a psychopath who can handle that kind of speed. But why would I do that when I could just go buy 5 more stars? Why not just stay in the loop? Yeah, might as well. Unless you have a crew on like equal footing in terms of like skill and knowledge of the game, I don't recommend this board. I probably played this board the most in Mario Party 6 and maybe just in general across the series. It might be like my most played board. And that's probably why people don't like me. We're here at the end now. I've talked about a lot of boards, and I've been able to say maybe 1 or 2 positive things I would like to think about most of these. Or I could at least say 1 or 2 positives about most of these. But this last board, I really struggle to find any joy in whatsoever. Like, it's honestly a board I wouldn't blame people for even forgetting about or not putting that much thought into at all. But when doing the RIME scoring system and going over every board for this, it became really evident just how unacceptable this board truly was, okay? No big joke or anything. Like let's just reveal the thing. So, Super Mario Party is a game I really respect. For when it came out, we hadn't had like a true Mario Party game in like over 6 years. And I think it's got like some great positives. Like, its minigames slap. Like, oh my God, those minigames are good. You cook the meat, you shake the jar. Woo! It's good shit. I love it. But these boards, these boards are so worthless. This partially comes down to just like how the game mechanics of Super Mario Party work and how rolls are just like locked to like lower numbers overall and stars costing like practically nothing. There's never really much stakes on any of the boards in this game. Like, they're all kind of like nothing. But the crown jewel of all of these terrible ideas comes down to this one golden tower. Kamek's titillating tower might just be one of the most joyless experiences I have ever had in a Mario Party game, much less like just gaming as a whole. And this is the secret 4th board you unlock. And yes, there's only 4 boards, and this is your reward. This is your fucking secret. Yippee, surprise, at the end of the game. Yeah, baby. But what makes this board so bad overall, to the point of me deeming it like the worst one out of any board? Strap in, Johnny. Let's go for a tour. Right away, this board is tiny. Fucking small, okay? Which is kind of a blessing and a curse. You know, you could maybe say that. There's not a whole lot of action on this board at all because we got no room for anything. But let's look at what is here. Like, maybe we'll be surprised. Like, look at this. We got a happening space right at the beginning of the board. Maybe that surely does something. Oh, it just picks you up and puts you like a few spaces up. Okay, that's super fun. I guess that's helpful. Not that it like takes long to get here really, but all right. Landing on events by the Chain Chomp do exactly what you think. Getting ravished by this iron ball to lose a random amount of coins. We also have the other main happening here, which is the only one worth a damn on the board, which takes you to Pseudo Boo, Lakitu over here, who can steal coins or stars. Great to see that locked behind an event space. Wonderful. Hi, it's me, Future Nathan, or Future Jokes, whatever you want to call me at this point. I'm just adding this extra bit at the end of like editing right now. Lakitu is garbage on this board. I don't know why I even thought that it was maybe good here. No, it's completely bad. Why would I spend 30 coins to steal 1 star from somebody when I can spend 30 coins and get 2 stars? Or maybe less than 30 coins to get 2 stars? Or maybe 30 coins to get 3 stars at the end of the game. My God, there's so much bad with this board and I just can't keep it all straight. Then we got the shops, which are fine. They're fine. They only ever offer like the same 3 items each, but at least like one of the shops forces you to buy an item and removes it from stock until all the items have been bought. If only the options were more varied and switched out more of the time. You know, you think about what might show up. It might be exciting, but it's not. It's not exciting at all. We do have this thwomp here in the middle of the board, which you can pay to take a shortcut to the star. And it's kind of like the thwomps in Yoshi's Island, where you can pay like more money and the next person has to pay more to get by it. Super cool. What a great use of a shortcut that saves me, what? 1 space? And that I avoid the shop of randomness. The only thing that could be cool on this board. I guess I avoid the Chain Chomp. Why is this here? The final nail in the coffin, though, is just like the main event, the main gimmick of this board. So what if we took Fair Square and made it unbelievably boring? You can buy up to 2 stars. Ooh. And on the last few turns, you could buy up to 3 stars. Whoa, so crazy. And how much do the stars cost, right? I mean, because like one of the biggest things when it comes to like buying multiple stars is the price changing. And this board does have price changing. How much are the stars worth? How much can they be worth? 5, 10, or 15 coins. Wow. This game doesn't have a money problem, okay? There is not a lack of money going around. This is just monotonous. It's a waste of an idea in a game that just like really can't support it. And that's like the main issue here. This board is just monotonous through and through. And it's also the only board in the game that lets you play more than 20 turns, all the way up to 30 turns. And let me tell you, 5 turns and 30 turns feeling the exact same on this board is insanity. This is just one of the most depressing and worthless boards in the entire series, and it's literally covered in gold. We were so hungry for classic Mario Party again, and we put up with this nonsense until Superstars and Jamboree saved us. Thank you, Lord, for those. It's amazing we found ourselves like back on a healthy track for Mario Party. Even though like the newest entries aren't perfect, like I struggle to call any of them perfect. No matter where you go online, there will always be people like discussing different games in the series as their favorites. To top contenders like Mario Parties like 2, 3, and 6. To games like 4 and Super with their super like fantastic minigames selection. Or even the newer games for quality of life features and like the ability to play online with your friends over the world. Like those are good qualities. And we have so much Mario Party to go around, and your favorite game or board is just as valid as anyone else's. And I hope that if there's like any board that you're passionate about, either good or bad, that you'll share it. because like I love talking about Mario Party. I love talking about the boards and the mini games and everything else, and I love to know people's opinions on these things and what makes them stand out in good or bad ways to anyone. I love getting those perspectives, so I honestly would love to hear everyone's opinions in the comments about it. It's always great to see what strengths and weaknesses like others can find in board design, and I'll look forward to hearing them in the comments. I think at the end of the day, it's great to have a series that we can all love, despite the missteps of some of the entries and some of the boards that we see in the series. Because like what we're left with is some of the most fun gaming experience I have ever had in my life. And I couldn't be more grateful to this series for all those memories. Mario Party 4 still sucks though. Bye!